So I'm here to talk about game development and talk about it as a career and what you're going to, what's it like to do game development for 3+ decades. And one, you're going to look like me at the end, sorry. But what it's really about is it's about chaos. We live in a world that is all about chaos when you do game development. And that's because everything changes. Everything changes. The platforms we make games for change. The OSs that are on those platforms change. The customers are changing all the time. Think about where we are today and where we were 15 years ago. 15 years ago, we had a nice, relatively big hobby. Today, hundreds of millions of people play games, just in North America. Not everywhere, just in North America. Probably over 1 billion people play games on a fairly regular basis. And that was unthinkable, definitely 15 years ago, and certainly when I started in the business, it was unthinkable. So change is our medium. It's not, and the chaotic part of this change is also our medium. And I don't know why Cisco wants to be up for me. There you go. And of course, what does that mean? We are surfing the chaos. And if we're lucky, we stay on top of the board. And sometimes, maybe not so much. And I do not know why my laptop is not working. Oh, there we go. So what's our strategy for this? First, you really have to commit to the craft. So how many people out there are programmers, artists, designers, everything else that's really important, like managers? Okay, yeah, or whatever. Okay. I'm giving you a hard time on purpose, project managers, and QA, and everyone else. It really takes that entire team, though, but you have to commit to your craft. You've got to be the best at what you do, or you can't play this game. Because a lot of people want to play the game of making games. So you're going to have to outcompete other people who really want those jobs. And you're going to have to embrace the change. You can't be the guy who's going, we really shouldn't be doing this kind of game. We should be doing the kind of game I did last year. That's a surefire way to when the first layoff comes, I go, yeah, so-and-so's not a team player. They're stuck in the old world. They wanted the world to stay the same, and the world isn't staying the same. The world is changing. If you're the person who's enthusiastically saying, hey, we can solve these problems that are occurring because these new changes have happened in the marketplace, one, your coworkers are going to want to be around you, and because enthusiasm is very contagious. And two, your bosses are going to go, oh, that's a guy or a gal who makes it happen. Doesn't just complain about how it isn't happening. And, oh, woe is me. I wish it was new. I wish it was different. The old way it used to be. And that means to embrace that change and to commit to the craft, you're going to have to commit yourself to lifelong learning. There is no plateau. There is no place where you can hang out for 10 years and do the same thing forever. Every once in a while somebody gets one of those jobs, but believe me, they're highly precarious. They're going to disappear before you know it. So, committing to the craft. Commitment means that you're actually committed, that you're doing stuff. You're not just committed saying, oh, I think I'm committed. Oh, it'd be nice if I was committed. Oh, it'd be okay if I spent some time thinking about what I do and getting better at it, practicing it, maybe learning about it, reading stuff, talking to my friends about it. That'd all be good, but I'd rather stay home and play World of Warcraft or some other, big MMO, right? So I think it's really important to figure out that you just can't sit there and say, I'm committed and not do action. Commitment is about action. It's about doing, not about thinking, not just about thinking or about wishing or about hoping. It's about actually making the effort to get there. You have to have a peer community if you're going to be in this business. And you've got to have a non-peer community. I really encourage you to have a community outside of game development. Don't be an incestuous game developer who only talks to game developers about game development, or it's kind of like inside baseball. You know, you're going to get stale. Definitely. It won't help you be a better person at whatever you're trying to be in this business. And the last part of this that's really important to me is professionals make games for customers, not for themselves. It's always cool when a game for a customer lines up with a game for yourself, where you're going, oh, right, I am the customer for this game, but it's an anomaly. It's not what's going to happen 99% of the time. You may come to love the game that you're working on. You may come to, really appreciate it, and you may enjoy parts of it a lot. But in the end, what we're supposed to be doing is serving customers. And when we serve customers well, the games that we're on make money, and then we get to make more games. When we don't do that well, the games that we're on don't make so much money, and you have to change jobs again. And again, and again, and again, and again. So the reason, I have lots of experience in changing jobs. I've worked for every evil empire now except for Microsoft, but I'm still not dead, so there's hope. So you must embrace the change. And part of embracing change is actually metamorphosing yourself as you move along. Having been doing this for a while, I have to change all the time. I have to learn new things. I purposely changed careers a year ago and said to myself, okay, I'm at the pinnacle of doing MMOs. That's awesome. It's not doing it for me anymore. I need to go back to square one and learn again. And have to throw out a lot of what I know to learn new things. And if you don't have that attitude, you're going to be in a place someday where you're kind of stuck and going, oh, crap, I can't. What I know how to do, nobody wants right now. If I haven't evolved, the world is going to pass you by. So don't resist the change. Embrace the change as much as you can. Everybody's different. Everybody has kind of a different threshold for it. But you need to develop a lower threshold for change where you're actually looking at it as an opportunity and not something that's going to hold you back. It's actually an opportunity to reset the whole playing field and for you to change what you're going to do. I know, it's whining at me. I know, my battery wants change. So lifelong learning is a really big part of this. And with lifelong learning, I really want you not just, everybody says play games, right? If you're going to be in the games business, you got to play a lot of games. That's awesome. But in the real business that we're in is a people business. The studying of the people, meaning not only are the people you work with so you can be a better team member and build a better team. Every person on a team helps the team either get better or they're dragging it down. There is no plateau there. There's no steady state. All steady states are highly unstable. You need to be the person who's either helping the team get better or you need to exit and do something and go someplace where you are going to help the team be better. And we need to study our customers. Customers are really what the business is about. Study the customers, because when you know the customer well, you're more valuable as a team member. If you say, oh, I am the customer and you should study me, you're just an egotist and, I can't wait to squash you one day. if you can get in the door. You need to study the craft of development. And I don't just mean what you're good at, I mean everything. Study the craft of development. Know what the patterns are that work. Find a mentor. Don't just, not just one mentor if you can. Find multiple mentors, people who will help you in this world of, that's ever changing. Because a lot of people want to be mentors and nobody's asking. So I encourage you to, when you see somebody who you think knows something, suck up to them and be their mentoree. Everybody wants to be heard, so all you have to do is ask, and they'll probably tell you everything that they know. And, last but not least, you have to practice your craft all the time. If you're not getting enough practice at work, you better practice elsewhere. Because the way that you learn to make games is by making games. And the games we make now, so many of us, are multi-year projects. So we're not getting good iteration. When you start thinking about a 4 or 5 year game, you go, wow, how many of those am I going to do in a career if you start adding the numbers up? And it's not very many. So you need to be able to say to yourself, okay, even if I'm doing stuff at work, how can I practice that and get more iteration on my own time? Because I want to be better. I don't want to be okay. I want to be better. But the main thing is enjoy the journey. Don't get hung up on what's going on any particular day. Enjoy what you're in. You are blessed to be part of entertaining other people and doing something that millions of other people wish they could do, and all of us do it. So thank you.